Before we get into the video, be sure to check out my merch and music channel. Both links will be down in the description below. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it and enjoy. What's going on, my people? Here we are back with another MLB video, and welcome back to our yearly installment of my top 10 player predictions for MLB The Show 21. And like every year, make sure you watch this one through to the end, because I have a feeling this one is going to be a little controversial. So if you think so, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. And appropriately so, leave all death threats in the comments below. Alright, let's get right into it. And at number 1, we have who else? The one and only Mike Trout, and I think he'll be a 95 overall. Let's be honest here, this one does not need a lot of explanation. It's Mike Trout, the modern day Mickey Mantle, easily the best player in the league, no doubt about that. I mean, the guy's stats, the guy's entire career, it all speaks for itself. He's just far and beyond above everyone else in the league. No circle jerk shit. So yeah, pretty much a common sense pick here. And at number 2, we have a little bit of a less obvious pick, but I'm going to be going with Mookie Betts from the Los Angeles Dodgers, and I think he'll be sitting at around a 95 overall. Now, we can't have any conversation about Mookie Betts without talking about the Boston deal, and my god, did the Red Sox fuck this one up. When you have a legitimate generational talent like Mookie Betts has been thus far, logic dictates that you probably don't trade them. But if you're the Boston Red Sox and you need to save a few dollars because you're a poor organization in a small market, then you send them to LA. Now, Mookie Betts himself, the player, pretty much just a 5-tool monster, came second in MVP voting last year. We know he's one of the best players in the league, and he really showed that by being dirty on the Dodgers and picking up a world championship while he was at it, the second one of his career. And I think this is another one that kind of just speaks for itself. I mean, Mookie is at the top of the league, there's no doubt about it. Obviously not better than Mike Trout, but he is up there. And at number 3, we have Jacob DeGrom of the New York Mets. And pretty much everything I just said about Mookie Betts applies to DeGrom. He's easily the best pitcher in the league right now. He literally just keeps getting dirtier and dirtier every year. The Mets made the right move by signing him to an extension. I know, who would have thought they did something smart? You know, at least pre-Cohen speaking. Now they're going to be really good with Lindor. That's besides the point. And although Jacob DeGrom is not exactly a young guy by any stretch, he doesn't care. He's having one of the best peaks we've ever seen, to be quite frank. And in the last 3 years, we've just seen him absolutely fuck the league in the ass. Sporting ERAs of 1.7, 2.43, and 2.30 respectively. Again, another common sense pick here. DeGrom is just absolutely disgusting, and he's in a league of his own as far as pitchers go. And at number 4, this might be a surprise to some of you, but I have Freddie Freeman of the Atlanta Braves sitting at a 94 overall. And Freeman had an absolutely nuts 2020. You know, short season or not, he won the National League MVP, got the Braves their first playoff series win in God knows how long, and led his team to within 1 game of a World Series appearance. And Freddie's one of those guys that's been killing it for fucking years, but it's been kind of low key. And you know, honestly, it's nice to see him finally get some recognition for how good he's been. And if there's one thing you can say about Freddie Freeman, the guy is consistent as fuck. He's been one of the best hitters in baseball for the last few years. In terms of average, power, and just altogether, he is that dude. And that's why we have him so high on the list in our number 4 spot. And at number 5, we have someone who might be, kind of another surprise. And there we have Manny Machado from the Padres at a 94 overall. And the reason I have him up here is because the dude absolutely balled out in 2020, hitting .304 with 16 bombs and a .950 OPS. And although he didn't have the best 2019 in his first year with San Diego, if you guys remember all the way back in 2018, which feels like about 3 decades away from now, even though it's only been less than 2 short years, Manny Machado was an absolute monster, man. His year before free agency was absolutely nuts, and he showed a lot of flashes of that in the shortened 2020 season. And I think realistically this season, it's only going to get better. That Padres team is absolutely loaded with young talent and now great pitching. And I think that they're going to go as far as Manny Machado's bat can take them. And it's going to be really exciting to see what they can do overall heading into this new season. And at number 6, we have the league's most notorious man, the most notorious free agent, and the man on Twitter that baseball people hate the most, Trevor Bauer. 94 overall. Who the hell knows where he's going to sign this offseason? He's been throwing smoke shows left and right, and realistically, he could go anywhere. The guy's that good. And despite his interesting personality, I'm sure any team would be glad to have him. Coming off a great 2020, which he really showcased his talent, picking up an NL Cy Young Award. And I remember a few years back, I think, I read that Sports Illustrated article they did about him that really gave you a good insight into how this guy's brain works. And from what I've read, it seems like he's got to be one of the most dedicated guys in the league. Becoming a better pitcher is just all he focuses on. So I do believe he will be getting better. And I think that dedication is going to be carrying him to really good places, a really nice paycheck. And so far, it got him on this spot on my list. Probably the best accomplishment of his career, realistically. And at number 7, we have DJ LeMahieu. And you guys know how I feel about him. I touched about it in my last video about free agents. If you haven't seen that one yet, check out the video. Link will be in the description. But yeah, basically the whole sentiment there was, for the love of God, please sign with the Yankees. But really the main thing to say about him as a player is in the last 2 seasons, he's been consistently one of the best overall hitters in all of baseball. We knew the guy could hit for contact and average. That wasn't a doubt going back to his Colorado days. But now with the Yankees, he's incorporated a lot more power than I expected into his game, and I think it's really elevated him to a whole nother level. He's been a legitimate MVP candidate in the last 2 seasons as well, and I'm sure any team would be ecstatic to have him on. I sound like the guy's fucking agent, but he's a great player, great hitter, and that's why we have him at a 94 overall. Alright, now moving on to number 8, we have Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Indians. And I believe he'll be sitting at around a 93 overall. And as of right now, he's pretty much the only one left on Cleveland after they just shipped Lindor to the Mets. And he's scheduled to be a free agent after the 2021 season, if I'm not mistaken. So that means his days in Cleveland are very limited. I also believe the team has options for 2022 and 23. So who knows if they'll take them or just ship him off somewhere to get more prospects or whatever the hell they're doing. But Ramirez is probably one of the best overall players in the league. He had yet another great season in 2020, finishing second in AL MVP voting, his second time up there in that voting in the last few years, and he's still only 28 years old, so right in the middle of his prime, and I think we're going to see another big year from him in 2021, and he's probably going to have to put the entire team on his back, so I fully expect him to ball the fuck out. And at number 9, we have Corey Seager from the Dodgers, and I think he'll be sitting at about a 93 overall, and Seager had a great bounce back 2020, the last few years dealing with injuries, inconsistencies, and just a whole lot of bullshit. He came out in 2020 and absolutely went off, hitting .307 with 15 bombs and a .943 OPS in the shortened season. He pretty much stepped in and completely filled in for Bellinger, who had a pretty terrible year, to be completely honest with you. And the thing is, Seager is just entering his prime right now. The dude is only 26 years old, turning 27 in April, and ideally that means he's only going to get better. And I think the fact that he's shown he can play at such a high level at such a young age is a good thing, obviously, and I think it means we're going to be seeing a lot more of him playing up to this high standard in the future, including next season. And it's going to be another exciting one for Dodgers fans as they come off that World Series win. And honestly, for that team, the sky's the limit. They're run excellently, and they have great players. And finally, at number 10, we have Shane Bieber from the Cleveland Indians, a 93 overall, and he was pretty good in 2019, right? And then 2020, my guy said, fuck it, and went off. At only 25 years old, he picked up an AL Cy Young Award, and next to Jacob DeGrom was far and away the best pitcher in the league. Although he did kind of get rocked in the playoffs against the Yankees, I think every start before that, he was just on the money. An ERA in the mid-ones is not an easy thing to pull off these days, especially in the American League where hitting is a lot heavier than it is in the NL because of the DH. But again, like Corey Seager, the fact that he was able to perform at this high of a level at this young of an age is extremely encouraging. And honestly, I think the biggest factor with Shane Bieber as a pitcher is to just stay healthy and stay consistent. And if he does that, I think he's going to be at the top of the radar for everyone for years to come. At least Cleveland can be excited about this guy before they trade him away in a few years, because his future looks very bright. Alright guys, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Let me know your top 10 list down in the comment section below. We'll have a nice civilized discussion, or at least try to. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Be safe, and I'm out of here, guys. Peace.